pray that this will be a fruitful exercise for you and I, and that all your petitions, all your special requests and prayer points shall be met as we read the word of the Lord. Thank you so much. We're going to continue now from Deuteronomy chapter 11. Thank you. Therefore, thou shalt love thy God, the Lord thy God, and keep his charge and his statutes for and his judgment and his commandment always. And now ye this day, for I speak not with your children which have not known, and which have not seen the chastisement of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand, and his stretched out arm, and his mercy, and his those, and his acts, and he did in the midst of the Egyptians, unto Pharaoh the king of Egypt, and unto all his land, and what he did unto the army of Egypt, unto our horses, unto their horses and their chariots, how he made the winter of the Red Sea, how he made the water of the Red Sea to overflow them as they pursued after you. And now how the Lord has destroyed them unto this day, and what he did unto you in the wilderness until ye shall came into this place, and what he did unto Dathan and Abraham, the sons of Eliab, the sons of Reuben, and how the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up, and their also and their tents, and all the substance that was in their possession, and in the midst of all Israel. But your eyes have seen all the great acts of the Lord which he did. Therefore shall ye keep all the commandments which I command you these days, that ye may be strong and go in and possess the land where ye go to possess it, and that ye may prolong your days in the land which the Lord sware unto you, fathers, to give you them unto the seed, a land that flow with milk and honey. For the land which thou goest to possess is to possess. It is not the land of Egypt, from whence you came out, and where thou sowest thy seed, and water it with thy foot, as a garden of house. But the land which you go to possess, it is a land of hills and valleys, and which drinketh water of the rain of heaven, and the land which the Lord God cared for. The eyes of the Lord God are always upon it from the beginning of the year even unto the end of the year. And it shall come to pass, if ye shall hearken diligently unto the commandment of which I command you this day, to love your God, to love the Lord your God, and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, then I will give you the rain of your hands in this due season, and the first rain and the later rain. Thou mayest gather in the corn and the wine and thy oil. I will send grass in my feet for thy catch. Thou mayest eat and be full, and take heed to yourselves that you would not be deceived, and ye turn aside and serve their other gods and worship them, and the Lord's wrath will be kindled against you, and he shut up the heaven that there is no rain, and that their land yielded not her fruit, and unless ye perish quickly from all the great land which the Lord has given to you. Therefore shall he lay up these my words in your heart, in your soul, and bind them for a sign upon the land, that they may be as founded between your eyes, and ye shall teach them your children, speaking of them when thou sittest in thy house, and when thou walkest by the way, when thou lettest down, and then thou risest up, and you shall write them upon the door post of thy house, and upon the gate, that your days may be multiplied, and the days of your children in the land which the Lord swore unto thy fathers to give, as the days of heaven upon the earth. And if ye shall diligently keep all his commandments, which I command you, let do to do them, to love the Lord God, to walk in his ways, and to cleave unto him, then will the Lord drive out all these nations from before you, and they shall possess greater nations and mightier than yourself. Every place whereof the soles of your shoes of feet shall touch shall be yours, from the wilderness and Lebanon, from the river and the river Euphrates, even unto the uttermost sea shall your coast be. There shall no man be able to stand before you. For the Lord God, for the Lord your God shall lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that he shall tread upon, as he has said unto you. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. A blessing if you obey the commandment of the Lord and God, which I command you these days, and a curse if you will not obey the commandment of the Lord your God, but turn aside out of the way which I command you this day to go after other gods which ye have not known. And it shall come to pass when the Lord your God brought thee in out of at the land wherein thou goest to possess, that thou shalt put the blessing upon Mount Gerizim and the curse upon Mount Ebal. Are they not on the other side of Jordan, by the way where the sun goeth down, in the land of the Canaanites, and dwell in the champaign over against Gilgal, beside the plains of Moreh? For she, yeah, pass over Jordan to go in the possession of the land which the Lord your God giveth you, and ye shall possess it, and dwell therein. After ye shall observe to do all the statutes and judgment which I said before thee. Deuteronomy chapter 12. These are the statutes and judgments which ye shall observe to do in the land which the Lord your God of thy fathers giveth thee to possess it all the days, and that ye may that you may live upon the earth. Yet ye shall utterly destroy all the places wherein the nations where ye shall possess south their gods, and the high mountain upon the hills, and under every green tree. And ye shall overthrow their altars, and break their pillars, and burn their groves with fire. And ye shall deal down the graven images of the gods, and destroyed the names of them out of that place. Ye shall not do so unto the Lord your God, but unto this place which the Lord your God shall choose out of all your tribes, to put his name here, even unto his habitation that shall ye seek. And here thou shalt come, and here ye shall bring thy front offerings and your sacrifices and your tithe and if offerings on your hand, and your vows and your free will offerings, and the firstling of your heads and of the flocks, and there shall ye eat before the Lord your God, and ye shall rejoice in all that he put all hand on to do, ye and your household, wherein the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Ye shall not do after all the things that we do here this day, every man whatsoever is right in his own eyes, for ye are not as yet come to the rest and on to the inheritance which the Lord God, which the Lord God, which the Lord your God giveth you. But when ye go over Jordan and dwell in the land of which the Lord your God giveth to you to inherit, and when he giveth it due rest for all your enemies found about, so that they dwell in safety, then there shall be a place which the Lord your God shall choose to cause his name to dwell there. Neither shall ye bring all that I command you, your burnt offering and your sacrifices, your tithe, and the offering of your land, and all your choice vows, which ye vow unto the Lord. Ye shall rejoice before the Lord your God, ye and your son, and your daughters, and your men servant, and your maid servant, and the Levite that is within your gates, for as much as ye hath no that as ye have no part in your inheritance with you. Take ye theirs for that thou after the, your burnt offering. burnt offering in every place that thou seest, but in the place which the Lord shall choose in on one of the tribes that you shall offer thy burnt offering, and there that shalt thou do all that I command thee. Notwithstanding, thou mayest kill and eat flesh in all the gates, whatsoever thy soul lust after, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which which he hath given thee. The unclean and the clean may eat it thereof, as of the reward, and as of the earth. Only he shall not eat the blood. Ye shall pour it upon the earth as water. Thou mayest not eat within thy gate, and the tithe of thy corn, or the wine, or thy oil, or the first thing of the earth, of the flock, nor any of the vows which thou vowest not, nor thy free will offering, or leave offering of thy hand, but thou must eat them before them, the Lord your God, in this place which the Lord thy God shall choose, thou and thy son and thy daughters and thy men servant and thy maid servant and the Levites that is within thy gate, and thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God in all that thou puttest thy hand unto. Take it, take it to thyself that thou forsake not the Levites as long as they liveth upon the earth. When the Lord your God shall enlarge thy border as he hath promised thee, and thou shalt say, I will eat flesh, because thou so longest for it to eat flesh. Thou mayest eat flesh whatsoever thy soul lust after, in the place which the Lord thy God hath chosen to put his name there. It be too far from thee, then you shall kill of thy heart and of thy flock, and which the Lord hath given thee, as I have commanded thee, and thou shall eat in that gate whatsoever thy soul lust after, even as the rubble and the earth is eaten, so that thou eat them. The unclean and the unclean shall eat of them alike. Only be sure that thou eatest not the blood, for the blood is the life, and thou mayest not eat the life with the flesh. Thou shalt eat it, and thou shalt pour it upon the bed of water, and thou shalt not eat it, and it may go well with thee, and with the children, and thee, and you shall not die, which is right to the sight of the Lord. Only thy holy things which thou hatest, and vows thou shalt take, and go unto the place which the Lord shall choose, and shall offer thy burnt offerings, thy flesh, and the blood, and upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and the blood of the sacrifice shall be poured out upon the altar of the Lord thy God, and thou shalt eat the flesh. Observe and hear all of these Lord words which I command thee, that it may go well with thee and with thy children after thee forever. Even thou doest that which is good and right in the sight of the Lord thy God. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations from before thee, where thou goest to possess them, and thou successest them, and dwellest in the land, take it to thyself that thou will not be snared by the following thing, that after they may destroy from before thee, and thou inquire not after their God, saying, how did these nations serve their gods? Even so will I do likewise. Thou shalt not do so unto the Lord thy God, for every abomination to the Lord which he hated have they done unto their gods, for even their sons and their daughters they have burnt in the fire towards their gods. Whatsoever I command you, observe to do it. Thou shalt not add here nor diminish from it. Deuteronomy 13. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the signs for the yonder come to pass. Therefore he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams, for the Lord your God prove you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul. Ye shall walk after the Lord your God, and fear him, and keep his commandments, and obey his voice, and ye shall serve him, and cleave unto him. And that prophet or the dreamer shall be put to death, because he had spoken to turn you away from the Lord your God, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to trust thee out of the way which the Lord thy God commanded thee to walk in. So shalt thou put the evil away from the midst of thee, in thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is as thou own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, Let us go and serve other God, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are around about you now unto this, or far off from thee, from the one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent to him, nor hearken unto him, and neither shall thine eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare between thy between, neither shalt thou conceal him, and before, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be forced upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hand of all the people, and thou shalt stone him with stones, that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall live, shall hear and fear, and shall do no any such wickedness as this is among you. If thou shalt hear say in one of the cities which the Lord thy God has given thee to dwell therein, saying, Certain men, children of Belial, are gone out from among you, and have withdrawn the inhabitants of their city, saying, Let us go and serve other God, which ye have not known. Then shall inquiry and make search, and ask diligently, and behold, if it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is taught among you, thou shalt surely smite the inhabitants of the city with the edge of the sword, destroying it utterly, and all that is therein, and the cattle thereof with the edge of the sword. And thou shalt gather of the spoil of it unto the midst of the street thereof. Thou shalt burn with burn with fire and the city, and not spoil. Therefore, every wheat for the Lord thy God, and it shall be an heap forever. It shall not be built again, and there shall cleave not of discourse this to thy hand, and that Lord may turn from the fierceness of the anger, and shew thee mercy, and have compassion upon thee, and multiply thee as he has sworn unto his father. Then thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandment which I command this day, to do that which is right in the eyes of the Lord thy God. Deuteronomy 14. Deuteronomy 14. Ye are the children of the Lord thy God. Ye shall not cut yourself, nor make any badness between your eye for the dead, For thou art only people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord has chosen thee to be peculiar people unto yourself above all the nations that are upon the earth. Thou, thou shalt not eat any abominable thing. These are the beasts which ye shall eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the ant and the rebel, the fallow deer, and the white goat, and the pigeon, and the wild ox, and camels, and every beast that parteth the hoof, and cleaveth the cleft into two halves, and cheweth the cord among the beasts that ye shall eat. Nevertheless, ye shall not eat of them that chew the cord, of them that divide the cloth of, and the camel, and the hare, and the coney, for they chew the cord, but divide not the hoof. Therefore they are unclean unto you. And the swine, because it divided the hoof, yet cheweth not the cord. It is unclean unto you, and ye shall not eat of the flesh, nor touch their dead carcass. And ye shall eat of all that are in the water, all that have fins and scale shall ye eat. And whatsoever hath not fins and scale, ye may not eat. This is unclean unto you. Of all clean birds ye shall eat, but these are they of which ye shall not eat: the eagle, and the osprey, and the osprey, and the glade, and the kite, and the vulture after his kind, and every raven after his kind, and the owl, and the night hawk, and the cuckoo, and hawk after its kind, the little owl, and the great owl, and the swan, and the pelican, and the gier eagle, and the cormorant, thy stock, and the heron after their kind, and the lapwing, and the bat, and every creeping thing that flieth is unclean unto you, and shall not be eaten. But of clean fowls ye may eat. Ye shall not eat of the thing that died of itself. Thou shalt give it unto the stranger that is in the gates, that he may eat it, or thou mayest sell it unto an alien. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not see the kid in his mother Mary, and thou shalt tithe all the increase of their seed, and that the field bringeth forth year by year, and thou shall eat before the Lord thy God in the place which he shall choose to place his name there, and the tithe of thy corn, of the wine, and of thy oil, and the firstling of thy earth, than of thy flocks, and thou mayest learn to fear the Lord thy God always. And if the way be too long for thee, or thou art not able to carry it, or if the place be too far from thee, which the Lord thy God shall choose to set his name there, when the Lord thy God has blessed thee, thou shalt not turn it into money, and bind up the money in thy hand, and shall go unto the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, and thou shalt bestow and that money for whatsoever thou so dost after, for oxen, or for sheep, or for the wine, or for the strong wine, or for whatsoever thou shalt desire, and thou shalt eat there before before the Lord thy God, and thou shalt rejoice, thou and thy household, and the Levite that is within the gates. Thou shalt not forsake him, for he had no part in inheritance with thee. At the end of 3 years, thou shalt bring forth all the tithe of thy increase the same year, and shall lay it upon within the gate, and deliver it, because he had no part or no inheritance with thee. And the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow, which are within thy gates, shall come and shall eat and be satisfied, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thy hand, which thou doest. Deuteronomy 15. And at the end of every 7 years, thou shalt make a release, which is the manner of the release. And this is the manner of the release. Every creditor and lender ought not unto his neighbor shall release it. He shall not exact it of his neighbor or of his brother, because it is the Lord release. And of a foreigner thou mayest enter thee, but that which is thine with thy brother, thine shall that and thy land shall be released. Save when shall it be no poor among you. Save that there shall be no poor among you, for the Lord shall greatly bless thee in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance to possess it. Only if thou carefully hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all these commandments which I command thee this day. For the Lord God has blessed thee, and has promised thee, and thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow, lest thou shalt reign over many nations, but they shall not reign over thee. If there be among you a poor man of one of thy brethren within any of these gates, in which the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not undo harden thy heart, nor shut thy hand for the poor brother, but thou shalt open thy hands wide unto him, and shall surely lend him sufficient for his need in that which he wanted. Beware that there not be not taught in any wicked saying, the seventh year, the year of release, is thy land, and thy hand be evil against the door, brother, and thou shalt give it his known, and he cry unto the Lord against thee, and it be seen unto thee. Thou shalt surely give him, and thy hand shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because thou for each thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works and in all thou puttest thy hand unto. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, thou shalt open thy hand wide unto the brother, to thy poor, and to the needy in the land. And if thy brother, an Hebrew man or an Hebrew woman, be sold unto thee, and serve thee 6 years, and then in the 7th year thou shalt let him go free from thee. And when thou standest him out of free from there, thou shalt not let him go away empty. Thou shalt furnish him liberally out of the floor, and out of the floor, and out of the winepress of that therewith the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Thou shalt give unto him, and thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt, and the Lord thy God redeemed thee. Therefore I command thee this day these things to do, these things today, and it shall be, if he shall say unto thee, I will not go away from thee, because he loves thee and thy house, because he is well with thee, and thou shalt take an oil and thrust it through his eye unto the door, and he shall be thy servant forever. And also unto my maid servant thou shalt not do likewise. It shall not seem hard unto thee, even thou sendest him away free from thee, for the earth being worth a double hired servant to thee, in serving thee 6 years, and Lord thy God shall bless thee in all that does. All the firstly maize that come of thy head and of thy flock thou shalt sanctify unto the blood, unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt do no work, and the firstling of the brood, nor share the firstling of the sheep. Thou shalt eat before the Lord thy God year by year, and the place which the Lord has to choose thou and thy household, and if there are any blemish therein, if it is by limb or blind or have an ill blemish, thou shalt not sacrifice it unto the Lord thy God. Then thou shalt eat it within their gates, and unclean and the clean person shall eat it alive as the red blood, and only thou shalt not eat the blood thereof. Thou shalt pour it upon the ground as water. Deuteronomy 16. Observe the month of Abib and keep the Passover unto the Lord thy God. For in the month of Abib the Lord God brought thee out from Egypt by night, and shall therefore sacrifice the Passover unto the Lord thy God, and the flock and the head, and in this place where the Lord shall chosen to place his name there. Thou shalt eat no leavened bread with it. 7 days shall thou eat unleavened bread therewith, even the bread of affliction, and for those came for out of the land of Egypt. In it, that thou mayest remember the day which you come forth out of the land of Egypt in all the days of their life. And there shall be no leavened bread sin within thee in all thy goods 7 days, neither shall there anything to the flesh which thou sacrificed the first day at even. Remain all night until morning. Thou mayest not sacrifice the Passover within any of the gates with the Lord thy God giveth thee, but at the place which the Lord God shall choose to place his name in, there thou shalt sacrifice the Passover at even, at the going down of the sun, at the season that thou camest of Egypt. And the Lord shall roast and eat it in the place which the Lord thy God shall choose. And thou shalt turn in the morning and go unto their tent. 6 days thou shalt eat unclean bread, and of the 7th day shall be a solemn assembly to the Lord thy God. Thou shalt do no work therein. 7 weeks shall thou number unto thee. Begin to number the 7 weeks from such time as thou beginnest to put thy sick to the corn. Thou shalt keep the feast of weeks unto the Lord and God with a tribe of a freewill offering of thy land, which thou shalt give unto the Lord thy God, according as to the Lord thy God hath blessed thee. Thou shalt rejoice before the Lord thy God, thou and thy son and thy daughter, and the maid servant, and the maid servant, and the labor that is within thy gate, and the stranger, and the fatherless, and the widow that are among you in the plain place where the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to place his name there. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in Egypt, and thou shalt observe and to do these statutes. Then thou shalt observe the feast of the tabernacles 7 days, and thou hast gathered in thy corn and thy wine. Thou shalt rejoice in the feast, thou and thy son and thy daughter, and thy manservant and maidservant, and the Levite, the stranger, and the fatherless, and thou widow that are within the gate. 7 days shalt thou keep a solemn feast unto the Lord thy God, and in the place which the Lord shall choose, because the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy increase and in all thy work, thy hand. Therefore thou shalt surely rejoice. 3 times in a year shall all thy males appear before the Lord and God, and only please him with he shall choose in the feast of the unleavened bread, and in the feast of weeks, and in the feast tabernacle, and they shall not appear before the Lord empty. Every man shall give as is able, according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he hath given thee. Judges and officers shall thou make, that make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy gates. And they shall judge people with judgment, and thou shalt rest judgment, and shall not respect person, neither take a gift, for the gift doth blind the eyes of the wise, and pervert the words of the righteous. That which is altogether just shall thou follow, that thou mayest live, and inherit the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. Thou shalt not plant thee a grove of any tree near unto thy altar of the Lord thy God, which thou shalt make thee. Neither shalt thou set thee up any image which the Lord thy God hateth. Deuteronomy 17. Thou shalt not sacrifice unto the Lord thy God any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any evil favoredness, for that is an abomination on the Lord thy God. And there be found among you within any of the gates which the Lord God hath given thee, no man or woman, and that wrought wickedness in the sight of the Lord thy God, in transgressing his covenant, and hath gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, neither the sun nor moon or any of the hosts of heaven, which I have not commanded. And it be told thee, and thou hast heard it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain that such abomination is wrought in Israel. Then shalt thou bring it forth, that man or that woman, which have committed that wicked thing unto thy gate, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. And if mouth of two witnesses or three witnesses shall he that is worthy of death, he put to death. But the mouth of one witness shall not be put to death, and the hand and the witness shall be forced upon him to put him to death, and afterward the hands of all thy people. So thou shalt put the devil away from among you. If there arise matter to add for thee in judgment, bring blood between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within the gate. Then shalt thou arise and get thee up of the place which the Lord thy God shall choose, and thou shalt come unto the priest of the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall shew thee the sacrifice of the judgment. And thou shalt do according to the sentence which which of that place where the Lord shall choose shall shew thee, and thou shalt observe to do according all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgment which they shall tell thee that thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall shew thee to the right hand, nor to the left hand. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister there before the Lord thy God, or into a judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no more presumptuously. And thou art come unto the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nation. that are about me. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren. Thou shalt seek the king over thee, and thou mayest set the stranger over thee, which is not thy brother. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the power to return to Egypt, to the end that he should multiply horses. For as much as the Lord said unto thee, he shall henceforth return no, no more that way, neither shall the multiply wives to himself, that his heart turn not away, neither shall he greatly multiply for himself silver and gold. And it shall be, when thou sittest upon the throne of his kingdom, and thou shalt, and that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book, out of which is before the Levite, before the priest the Levite, and it shall be with him, and he shall read therein in all the days of his life, and he may learn to fear the Lord thy God, and to keep his words of his law and his statutes, to do them, that his heart be not lifted up above his brethren, and he turn not aside from the commandment to the right hand or to the left, to the end that he may prolong his days in this kingdom, ye and his children in the midst of Israel. Deuteronomy 18. The priest and the Levite and all the tribe of Levi shall have no part nor inheritance, and with Israel they shall eat the offerings of blood made by fire and his inheritance. Therefore shall they have no inheritance among their brethren. The Lord is their inheritance, as he has sent unto them. And this shall be the priest due from people and from them that offer a sacrifice, whether it be ox or sheep, and they shall give unto the priest the shoulder of the two cheeks of the more first fruit from of their corn, for the wine and thine oil, and the first of the fleece of the sheep. Thou shalt give him, for the Lord thy God hath chosen him out of all thy tribes to stand to minister in the name of the Lord, him and his son over. If a leaf coming from any of thy gates out of all Israel, where he sojourned, and come with all the desire of his mind unto place where the Lord shall choose. Then he shall minister in the name of the Lord his God, and all his brethren that live do, which stand there before the Lord. They shall have like portions to eat, and besides that which cometh of the sale of patrimony, when thou art come into the land which Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt learn to do after the abomination of those nations. There shall not be found among you anyone that is maketh his son or his daughter to pass through the fire, or that useth the divination, or any observer of times, or an enchanter or witch, or a charmer and consulter with familiar spirit, or wizard of a necromancer. For all do these that are an abomination unto the Lord. And because this abomination the Lord thy God hath done them out from before thee, thou shalt be part with the Lord thy God. For this nation, that which thou shalt possess, hearken unto observers of times, and unto diviners. But as for the Lord thy God, hath not suffered thee so to do. The Lord thy God will increase up into thee thee a prophet from the midst of thee, of the brethren, like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken, and to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy God in Horeb on the day of the assembly, saying, Let me not hear again the voice of the Lord thy God, neither let me see the great fire anymore, but I die not. And the Lord said unto me, They have all well spoken, and which they have spoken. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and will not my sword in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And it shall come to pass that whatsoever will not hearken unto the voice, and he shall speak in my name, I will require it of him. But the prophet which shall presume to speak a word in my name, that I have not commanded him to speak, or that shall speak in the name of other God, even that prophet shall die. And thou say in thy heart, How shall we know the word which thou, Lord, hath spoken? When a prophet speaketh in the name of the Lord, if the thing follow not, nor come pass, or that is the thing which the Lord hath not spoken, but the prophet hath spoken presumptuously, thou shalt not be afraid of him. Deuteronomy 19. When the Lord thy God shall cut off the nations whose land the Lord thy God giveth thee, and thou succeeded them, and dwelt in the city and in the houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it. Thou shalt prepare thee a way and divide the coast of the land, and the Lord thy God giveth thee to inherit into 3 parts, and every slayer may be may flee thither. And this is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, and he may be live. Whatsoever killeth his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in the time past. And when a man goeth into the wood, and his neighbor or to who wood, and his hand fetch a stone, which the axe to cut down the tree, and the hand slipped from the sleeve, from the earth, and tightened unto his neighbor, and he shall die, and he shall he shall flee unto one of the cities and live. Let the avenger of the blood pursue the slayer while his hand is hot, and partake him, because the way is long, and the slay is and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, inasmuch as he hated him not in the past. Wherefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee, and if the Lord thy God enlarge thy coast, as the hath sworn unto thy fathers, and give thee all the land which he promised to give unto thy father, and thou shalt keep all the commandments to do them which I command thee these days, to love the Lord thy God, and to walk ever in his ways. Then shalt thou add the 3 cities more of thee besides the trees, and that innocent blood he be not shed in thy land, and the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance, and so the blood be upon thee. But if any man hateth thy neighbor, and lie in wait for him, and rise up against him, and smite him mortally, that thou he died, and fleeth one of these cities, and fled into the one of the cities, and the elder of the city shall stand and fetch him then, and deliver him unto the hand of the avenger of blood, that he may die, and that I shall not pity him, and thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from Israel, that it may go well with thee. Thou shalt not remove thy neighbor's landmark, or day of the old time, saying, I've set in thy inheritance, which thou shalt inherit in the land of the Lord thy God giveth thee possess it. One witness shall not rise up against a man for any iniquity of everything in anything that he sinneth at the mouth of two witnesses or at the mouth of three witnesses that matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that bringeth his wrong, then both the men between of them controversy is shall before the Lord, before the priest and judges, and thou shalt in those days, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be false, cometh, and thou testify false against thy brother, then shall he do unto him as he hath brought to have done unto his brother. So shalt thou put the evil away from among you, and those which remain is shall near and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you, and thy eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot. Deuteronomy 20. And thou goest out to battle against thy enemies, and set horses and chariots, and keep and people more than thou. Be not afraid of them, for thou the Lord thy God is with thee, and brought thee up out of the land of Egypt. And it shall be when ye are among nigh unto the battle, that the priest shall approach and speak unto the people, and shall say unto them, Hear, O Israel, ye approach this day unto battle against your enemies. Let not your heart faint, fear not, and do no tremble, neither be ye terrified because of them. For the Lord your God is he that goeth with you to fight for you against enemies to save you. And the officers shall speak unto the Lord people, saying, What man is there that hath built a new house and hath not dedicated it? Let him go and return to his house, lest he died in the battle, and another man dedicated it. And that man is he that hath prevented a vineyard and hath not yet eaten of it. Let him also go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man eat of it. And what man is there that hath betrothed a wife and hath not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her. And the officer shall speak further unto the people, and shall say, What man is he that is fearful and fathereth? Let him go and return unto his house, lest his brethren had fainted as well as his son. And it shall be when the officers have made an end of speaking unto the people, that they shall make captains of the armies to lead the people. When thou comest unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it, and it shall be if it make the answer of peace and open unto thee, then it shall be that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and the Lord shall serve thee, and if we do make no peace with thee, but we make war against thee, then thou shalt beseech it. And when the Lord thy God hath delivered it into thy hand, and thou shalt smite every man thereof with the edge of the sword, but the woman, and the little ones, and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all spoil thereof shalt thou take unto thyself, and thou shalt eat the spoil of thy enemies, which the Lord thy God hath given thee, and thou shalt do unto all the cities which are very far from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations, but of the cities of these people, which the Lord thy God doth give thee for an inheritance. Thus shall save alive nothing that breatheth, and thou shalt utterly control them, namely the Hittites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzite, is Hivites and the Jebusite, as the Lord thy God commanded thee, and they teach you not to do after their abomination, and they have done unto thy gods. So should ye sin within the Lord thy God. When thou blessed be a city, and a time in the making war against it to take it, and thou shalt not destroy trees, therefore, by forcing an axe against them, for thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down, for the tree of the field is man life, to employ them or in the siege. Only the trees which thou may be, not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and though thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until he be subdued. Deuteronomy 31. We will now be taking a short 5 minutes break. Thank you. Welcome back. Deuteronomy 21. If one be found slay in the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee to possess it, and lying in the field, and it be not known who hath slain him, then thy elders and the judges shall come forth, and they shall out measure unto the city which are bound about him of the slain. It shall be that the city which is next unto the slain man, even the elders of the city, shall take an ephah and hath not been wrought with, and which had not done in the yoke. And the elders of the city shall bring down the ephah unto the rough valley, and is neither hand nor stone, and they strike off the ephah neck there in the valley. And the priest's son of Levi shall come near, for them the Lord thy God hath chosen to minister unto him, and to bless in the name of the Lord, and thy words and their word shall every controversy and every stroke be tied, and all the elders of the city that are next unto the slain shall wash their hands over the ephah that is beheaded in the valley, and they shall answer and say, our hands have not shed this blood, neither have your eyes seen it. Be merciful, O Lord, unto thy people Israel, whom thou hast redeemed, and lay not innocent blood unto the people of Israel like charge, and the blood shall be forgiven them. Thou shalt put away the guilt of innocent blood from among you, and thou shalt do that which is right in the sight of the Lord. When thou goest forth to war against the enemies, and the Lord thy God hath delivered them into thy hands, and thou art taken them captive, and seest among the captives a beautiful woman, and they hath a desire unto her, thou shalt wooest her to thy wife. Then thou shalt bring her home to thy house, and she shall have her head, and pare his nails, and she shall put the raiment of her captivity from off her, and shall remain in the house, and bewail her father and mother a full month. And after that, thou shalt go into her, and be her husband, and she shall be thy wife. And it shall be, if thou have no delight in her, then thou shalt let her go where she will, but thou shalt not sell her at all for money. Thou shalt not make merchandise of her, because thou hast humbled her. If a man should have two wives, one beloved and another hated, and they have borne him children, both the beloved and the hated, and even the firstborn son be asked, and that are hated. Then it shall be, when he maketh his son to inherit that which he hath, that he may not make the son of the beloved firstborn, thou shalt the son of the hated, which is needed the firstborn, but ye shall acknowledge it the son of the hated for the firstborn, by giving him a double portion of all that he hath, and he is the beginning of his strength, and the right of the firstborn is his. If a man have a stubborn and rebellious son, which is not obey the voice of the father or the voice of the mother, and when they have chastened him, will not hearken unto them, then shall his father and his mother lay hold on him, and bring him unto the elders of the city, and unto the gate of the place. And they shall say unto the elders of the city, this our son is stubborn and rebellious, he will not obey our voice. He is a glutton and drunkard, and all the man in the city shall stone him, and stone that he died, so that thou put evil away from among you, and all Israel shall hear the fear. And if a man have committed a sin worthy of death, and he be to be put to death, and thou hang him on a tree, his body shall not remain at night upon the tree. Thou shalt in any ways bury him that day, for he that is hanged is accursed of the God, and thy land be not defiled, which the Lord thy God giveth thee for an inheritance. Deuteronomy 22. Thou shalt not see the brother's ox or his sheep go astray, and hide thyself from them. Thou shalt in any case bring them bring them again unto thy brother, and if thy brother be not near unto thee, or if thou know him not, then shall thou shalt bring it unto thy own house, and it shall be with thee until thy brother seek after it, and thou shalt restore it to him again. In the like manner shalt thou do with the ashes, so that shalt thou do with the raiment, and with all lost things of thy brothers, which he hath lost, and thou hast found, thou shalt do likewise. They may not hide thyself. Thou shalt not see the brother's house or his eggs fall into by the way, and thou thyself from them. Thou shalt surely help him to lift them up again. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord thy God. If the boss nested chance to be before thee in the way, in any tree or any bound, whether they be young ones or eggs, the dam seated, sitting upon the young or upon the egg, thou shalt not take the dam with thee young, and thou shalt in any wise let the dam go, and take the young to thee, that it may be well with thee, and that thou mayest decay in thy days. When thou buildest a new house, then thou shalt make a battlement for the roof, and thou breathe not battle, bring not blood upon the house, if any man fall from hence, and thou shalt not sow the vineyard with divers seeds, lest the fruit of thy seed which thou hast sown, and the fruit of the vineyard be defiled. Thou shalt not plow with an ox or an ass together. Thou shalt not wear a garment of divers sorts, as of violent and linen together. Thou shalt make the fringes upon the four quarters of thy gesture, and therewith thou coverest thyself. If any man take a fire for wife, and go in unto her, and hate her, and give occasion of speech against her, and bring up an evil name upon her, and say, I took this woman, and when I came to her, I found her not a maid. Then shall the father of the damsel and the mother take and bring forth the token of the damsel virginity into the elders of the city in the gate. And the damsel father shall say unto the elder, I gave thy daughter unto this man to wife, and he hated her, and lo, he hath given occasion of speech against her, saying, I found not thy daughter a maid, and let ye add the tokens of thy daughter's virginity, and they shall spread the clothes before the elders of the city. And the elders of that city shall take that man and chastise him, and they shall amass him, and in 100 shekels of silver, and give them unto the father of the damsels. But he has brought up an evil name upon the virgin of Israel, and he shall be his wife. He may not put her away all these days. But if this thing be true, and the tokens of virginity be not found for the damsel, then they shall bring out the damsel to the door of the father's house, and the men of the city shall stone her with stones, that she died, because she had not wrought fully unto Israel to place the awe in her father's house, so that thou put evil away from among you. If a man be found lying within a womb, married to an husband, then they shall both of them die, both the man that lay with the woman and the woman. So shall thou put away evil from Israel. If the damsel is a virgin, be betrothed into an husband, that a man find her in the city and lie with her, and ye shall bring them upon out unto the gate of the city, and ye shall stone them with stone, that they may die. The damsels, because she died not, and in the city, and the man, because he hath humbled his neighbor's wife. So thou shalt put away evil from among you. If a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, and lie with her, the man only that lay with her shall die. But unto the damsel thou shalt do nothing. There is in the damsels no sins worthy of death. For as when a man rises against his neighbor and slayeth him, even so is this matter. For he found her in the field, and the betrothed damsels cried, and there were none to save her. Even any man finds a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and laid hold unto her, and lie with her, they shall find, and the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver, and she shall be his wife, because he had humbled her, and he may not put her ways all his days. A man shall not take his father's wife, nor discover father's skirt. Deuteronomy 23. He that wounded in the stone and hath his privy members cut off shall not enter into the great congregation of the Lord. A bastard shall not the congregation of the Lord. Even to his 10th generation shall he put enter into the congregation of the Lord. An Ammonite or Moabite shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord, even to their 10th generation, and they not enter into the congregation of the Lord forever, because they met you not with the bread and the water in the way when ye came out of Egypt, and because they iron against Balaam, the son of Beor of Petor, Mesopotamia, they caused thee. Nevertheless, the Lord God would have forsaken and hearkened unto Balaam, but the Lord thy God turned thy God loved thee. But the Lord thy God turned the curse into a blessing unto thee, because the Lord thy God loved thee. Thou shalt not speak their peace, nor their prosperity, all the days of forever. And thou shalt labor an Edoman, for he is thy brother, and thou shalt not abhor an Egyptian, because thou was a stranger in the land. The children of Israel are gathered together, for them shall enter into the congregation of the Lord. And in the third generation, when the host goeth forth against thy enemy, and they keep thee on every wicked thing, if there any among you, any man, when the host goeth forth against the enemies. Then keep thee for every wicked thing, and the Lord and be among thou any man that is not clean by reason of the uncleanness, and chanced him, they must send thee shall go abroad unto the camp. He shall not come within the camp, and it shall be when evening cometh, or he shall wash himself with water, and shall leave sun down. He shall come unto the camp again, and thou shalt have a place also without the camp, and whether thou shalt go forth abroad, and thou shalt make a paddle upon the weapon, and it shall be when thou wilt cease thyself abroad, thou shalt dig therewith the salt turned back, and cover that which cometh from thee. For the Lord thy God walketh in the midst of the camp, and to deliver thee and into thy enemies before thee. Therefore shall thy camp be holy, and thee shall no unclean thing in thee, and turn away from thee. Thou shalt not deliver but to his masters, the servant which escaped from his master unto thee. He shall dwell he shall dwell with thee, even among you, in that place which your house shall choose, in unto thy gate, where it likes is best. Thou shalt not oppress him. There shall be no awe of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite of the son of Israel. Thou shalt not bring the hire of awe or the pride of a dog into the house of the Lord thy God for any vow. From even both these are abomination unto the Lord thy God. Thou shalt not lend upon usury to thy brother, usury of money, usury of creatures, usury of anything that is lent unto the story, unto the usury, unto and unto stranger. Mayest lend upon fury. Thou will go another 5 minutes break, and we will start from where we stop, which is verse 20. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, off. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. So you need a break. Madam. God, I said,